This is the fourth and final video in our instructional series for the use of radar speed feedback signs. In this video, we're going to discuss the operation of the software and how to use the data. So to start, let's actually get the sign going. So what we have here is a 35-mile-an-hour tuning fork. At 35 miles an hour, the software is currently set to say slow down. Now that we know that the sign is operational and that it's giving data to the software, I'm going to let Luke show you how to use it.
Okay, thank you, Colby. Starting off from your laptop or computer that you've already installed the software on, you'll have the SafePace Pro icon in the top on your desktop. Click on that to start your software up. Okay, now we need to connect to the sign. You've already paired with it as we went through in video 3. So this is a lot quicker. In the top left, you get a little welcome box, close that out. In the top left, you have a button which says connect. You're going to click on there and then search for ports. Normally the software will default to the correct port. However, this way make sure that you know the software is talking to the sign. It will scan, it says now turn set, and you'll get an information box up which says radar sign found connected to COM, and then the COM port. Once you click OK on that, click connect. In the bottom left of our screen, we have a status bar which currently says disconnected and is now changed to connected. So we're now connected to our sign. We're going to run through how to set the sign up first for the speeds you want and those different options, and then we'll look at the reports. So on the top, we have a button which says sign configuration. Click on that. It will bring up the configuration box and a message saying, do you want to download the current configuration? Click yes. This just means you know what the sign is currently set to when you go into make changes. Okay, first bit we have on our configuration tab that I'm moving around so you can see it, says sign location. Obviously, you don't want one for Traffic Logix. You definitely don't want an address in New York. And you'll also possibly see a box which says can't find map image. Don't worry about the map image part. That normally just means you're not connected to the internet at the moment. Otherwise, a Google map will show in that box. It does not mean the sign is broken if that box is empty. We're going to click on Add, Edit, Delete Location. In there, we're going to create a new location, which I'm going to call Test for this particular sign at this particular time. You're going to put in your town name for location, and then under the address, you're going to put the address of where the sign is going. Each time you move the sign, it's suggested you put a new address in so that you can keep them all separate for your different roads and have a much easier time working with the data. So once you put the address in, it will appear on your list. You're going to select it and then you're going to click close. So that now changes the location for the sign. As I say, the location is more for data management rather than sign setting. With the location in, we're going to go to the list on the left and click on sign settings. This is where you set the sign. The first box, you have a tick box which says stealth mode. Switch to stealth mode. If you highlight that, it turns on what's called stealth mode. Once that's activated, the sign will no longer display any speeds. It will stay blank no matter what is happening in front of it. What it will do is continue to record the data. So every vehicle approaching will be given a speed and a time as recorded by the sign. If you click on display always on, you've got the opposite effect of no matter what speed a vehicle is approaching, the sign will display it as long as it's within its speed range, which for these signs is 0 to 99 miles an hour. Again, every vehicle that approaches will have a date time stamp and a speed. Below those, you have a display range, a speed limit, a tolerated speed, and some flashing the digits options. The display range is the one you'll mostly use. Obviously, this is a speed area in which the sign will activate. So the current settings for the sign are it will turn on at 15 miles per hour. So anyone traveling below 15, the sign will stay blank. Above 15, it will start showing speeds up until 45 miles per hour, at which point the sign will currently go blank again, so it won't show any speeds. The point of this is if you get someone who is trying to race the sign, as it were, see how fast they can get that sign to record their speed, this stops that before they get to ridiculous speeds, because the sign will no longer give them the feedback they're after. The speed limit and the tolerated speed buttons are used in the data reports later. So obviously the speed limit is the speed limit for your road. Your tolerated speed is a speed where obviously it's above the speed limit, but you will allow a little bit of leeway for it. Below this we have flash digits at speed. If we click that on, it will default to the speed limit. So once people start going above that, rather than being permanently on, the speed that's being displayed will start flashing. Turn strobe on. As you saw in Colby's demonstration, there is a white bar strobe light at the bottom of the sign. So with that turned on, when they reach a certain speed, that strobe will start flashing. Again, it defaults to the speed limit to begin with. You can, using the bars, adjust that to a higher speed, the same as for all the other settings. If you don't want to use the toggle bars, you can highlight the speeds in any of the boxes and type in the speed you want, and the software will change it to that. On the right-hand side, you have a box labeled Message Settings. This is for the word settings. In Colby's demonstration, the sign said slow down. They're all drop lists. By selecting your speed, it shows the speed of the approaching vehicle. Selecting slow down, it will flash the message slow down. Selecting too fast, it will flash the message too fast. There is custom messaging options, but we are not going into those because these signs are supposed to be used for speed, and the default messages cover all our options there. The last box you have is above speed range. So if they go above our 45 miles an hour, you can have the sign either off, or again, you can have it flash your speed, slow down, or too fast. I would suggest for this one you don't use your speed, because that is the whole point of putting up the display range, but slow down and too fast are both accessible messages. When you have the sign set the way you want, you're going to click at the bottom, Upload to Sign. This will write what you have on your screen into the sign. Until you click that button, you have not changed any of the settings in the sign. So click it, wait for it to all upload, and then your sign is ready to deploy. It is written to the permanent memory in the sign, so once you get the OK message to say it's up, you can unplug the batteries. The sign will remember the settings when you turn it back on. With that done, your sign is set. You take it to the field, you leave it for however long you're going to leave it. As we've said in previous videos, they start to lose their effectiveness after about 2 weeks. People will start ignoring them, and it's time to move the sign to a new location. So if we click close, we'll look at what happens when the sign comes back. At the top, we have a button labeled Download Statistics. Click on that and it will bring you to a screen which gives you a location to say where your sign is, arrays, and download and arrays. Click Download and Arrays, it will take the data off the sign, put it onto your computer. You cannot download the data without erasing it afterwards, so it always clears the memory after each go. And you're going to click through a couple of OK messages saying the data was downloaded and it's all done. The sign's going to take a few minutes to boot back up. Once you've had the OK message, click Close. The data is now on your laptop, so the sign can be taken away and you can generate reports for it without the sign being present. To generate a report, we have a tab at the very top labeled Reports and Charts. Clicking there, you get a number of options from weekly reports to custom reports, custom charting, and if you prefer, you can export all the data to a CSV, so you can play with it the way you want to get the layout you want for your reports, rather than using their pre-generated reports. Quick look into reports. You click on the one you want. I've selected weekly. You're going to have a location again, so select the location you want. Highlight the date period, the data type you want, so you've got vehicle count, average speeds, and then click Build Reporting Chart, and it will build your report. From there, you can save it as you wish or print the report. When you're complete with your sign, we're going to go back to sign management. You need to click on the little disconnect button to disconnect the sign before you shut down the software. And that concludes video 4 on the operation of the software and the downloading of the data from the sign.
Thanks for watching our video series on the installation and operation of the radar speed feedback signs. We hope that you all feel comfortable using these signs. However, if you do have any questions, please contact Tech Services. Their contact information is located in the manual provided with the sign. I'm Colby.
And I'm Luke.
Thanks for watching.